Hey guys, it's me. Hello again. Going on day 7 of my 30-day challenge. I'm super excited. I'm on a roll. And today's topic is about women and drinking wine and all that good stuff that we're going to talk about it. Yesterday we talked about kids and weightlifting. So if you didn't get a chance to look at it, go scroll down maybe 3 or 4 posts down below and comment below any questions that you might have. And I will definitely follow up with you if you got questions about how to get started with your kid on lifting weights. Okay. Now today we're going to talk about the whole concept about wine and drinking for itself and women, and not so much the weight loss but also the weight loss stalling, the weight stalling, that your weight doesn't change. Okay, so let me start off by saying that unbelievably that video you probably seen of the 2 girls in the kitchen or in the living room doing a workout like lunges and rotations and stuff with a bottle of wine is up to 14 million hits, views, last time I checked. So it is a topic that is going viral, if you know what I mean. People really like the idea of, like, wine drinking and whatnot. Now, with that said, women have been stereotyped or labeled as the wine drinkers. Okay. Now, studies and the following information I'm going to be sharing with you today, believe it or not, is coming from NHIS, which is the National Health Institute, CDC, Harvard University and Public School, and believe it or not, our very own Oregon State University. And Christina, you know it, your dad is awesome. Go-to person for me in general as far as food science and food engineering and all that. So Oregon State, go Beavs, right? Anyway, so that's where all this information that I'm going to share with you today is coming from, plus all the years experience working with busy moms. Okay, now, few things, like I mentioned before, women have been kind of labeled as the wine drinkers. Now, with that said, the number one addiction for women getting into the Betty Ford Institute is alcohol drinking. And nobody wants to talk about it. It's almost like teenage sex. Everybody talks about it, but nobody's, is doing it. It's the opposite here. Everybody's doing it, but nobody wants to talk about it. So, and the interesting thing is that more women than men are getting admitted to centers like Betty Ford and other centers for alcoholism, more than men. But on that same token, more women are quote unquote graduating or going through the step process to get back on track. So that's a super cool, and another kudos stars for women power. As you guys know already, I always believe women are like the neck of the house, even though that we are the head of the house. The neck doesn't move without the head, right? Anyway, getting back to this. So women more than men are getting admitted. Now, the scary thing as parents, especially like us that we have daughters, girls are starting to drink at an earlier age than we've seen before. Okay, and this is a 7-year study by Harvard. They're been tracking that girls are starting to drink earlier, and they're tagging the reason for that is that the wines are coming in cooler bottles, cuter labels, and also the fruit flavors. The whole peach and the fruities and the strawberries and all the cool stuff that goes with the wine drinking is getting girls to start drinking younger. So please educate, talk about it at home with your daughter. And most importantly, if you do drink wine, teach them. Okay? Just like I taught my boys about coffee. If they're going to drink, all they needed was 1 drink of coffee, and boom, they're done with it. They didn't like it. For their age, that is. Now, next, about wine or alcohol for the matter, and losing weight or stalling with your weight. Like every story, depending how you look at it, there's good things about it and bad things about it. Okay? So, as you know, everybody says when you start drinking, you get the munchies and you snack more and you lose control of what your portion control is and all that. So, all the Jillian Michaels probably are going to tell you no drinking while you're trying to lose weight. On the other side of the bridge, you got the advocates from medical community that says drinking in moderation is actually good. It kind of gets the whole antioxidant thing that's what got all the sales skyrocketing in the wine industry because they figured out that whole antioxidant and resveratrol kicking in with the red wine. Now, when we're talking about hard alcohol, we're talking about ethanol, okay? And the ethanol is the actual component of the alcohol of the vodka and the gin and all that. And it's being tested at our friends, the Beavers down at Oregon State. It actually slows down the production of fat cells. Okay, so it slows it down. The study doesn't tell you how much of a slowdown, but it does slow it down, just so you know. So with that said, knowing that you slow it down a little bit, also ethanol, again in vodka and any other spirits that are white based, kicks in a little bit of the enzymes that slows down insulin, which is, as you know it, if you're diabetic, if you know any diabetic patients, it's kind of critical for them to know the sugars. So it slows down the release of insulin. Okay. Now, that's the one side of the bridge, right? The people that say drink, if you want to lose weight, might as well go for it. And you get the Jillian Michaels of say, no drinking, not a drop, not a Zippo, if you really honestly want to lose weight. Now, here we're in the middle of the bridge, and I'm telling you, you have to make a very adult, smart decision if you want to get out of the rut and lose 8 or 10 pounds before the end of the summer. Labor Day is around the corner. So make a decision. If you know that you're being, 2 to 3 glasses of wine every night and you're kind of frustrated with your lack of progress, that might be the one thing you need to change. It might not be completely cold turkey, but maybe get down to 1 glass a night. So you gotta be an adult this time and really look at what your progress is, depending on which direction you want to go. If you want to go this way, if you want to go that way, or if you just want to be, I'm just happy where I'm at, and my self-awareness and my self-confidence is good, I'm just gonna keep drinking and be lucky. Now, with that in mind, if you're going to stay where you're at, women, we gotta be very careful because your bone density starts decreasing for every decade. You go a percentage down on your bone density, which means as you get older, ankles got broken, and they used to be only a sprain, now they're broken ankles. Elbows used to be tendonitis, now they're busted, chipped elbows. Hip replacement and all that good stuff that's related to your bone density starts showing up. So kind of, again, use your brain, okay? The next thing about it is liver. Go with the whole cirrhosis component, the whole process. You guys know it. If not, you guys can Google it, how the whole alcohol, liver process and metabolism, because women's metabolism slows down more than men, because you guys don't have that level of growth hormone and testosterone. It's hard for the liver to kind of metabolize, all that extra nutrient that we put in the body. Okay, so make a smart decision. First, stand in the middle of the bridge. Like I said, either you're going to go Jillian Michaels and go no, not a drop of alcohol, or if you're going to go with the medical community and say, I'm going to have alcohol, but be aware and be conscious of the decision that you're going to make. Okay, now, one last thing I want to share with you guys is if you do have alcohol, you have the one perk is that you can have it in moderation. Every day, every week, every weekend, whatever that is. The one perk about it is that you know yourself, so you start knowing when you had one too many, right? So I know my 2 cups of coffee, that's right there for me. If I have more than 2, I'm not going to have a hard time falling asleep later that night because my brain's still going to be running. Same thing with alcohol, right? If you know that 4 glasses of wine is right there for you, and then you start getting giddy, and then you become like, fast food, cheap and easy, that moderation for you is going to be maybe at 2, 3 might be pushing it, 4 you're really playing with fire, right? So make a very adult, smart decision, and most importantly, whatever you decide, just make sure that you are the role model to your kids, because they're copying and sponging everything up that we do. So if all they see is baskets of fruits and cheese platters and bottle of wine, that's what their environment, that as they get older, it's going to become the norm for them, right? But if they see water bottles, fruits, cheese platters, couple beers, couple bottles of wine, you know, and just kind of create an environment that that's the one that you want for your kids, okay? And talk about it with them. Say, hey, Papa is not going to be driving tonight, or Mom is going to go with her girlfriends because she's going to have a girls' night out and she doesn't want to be drinking. So talk about it. That way they start getting educated. You're the role model. You're the adult. You have the kid, and he's your kid. So you decide how you want to bring it up. When do you want to bring it up? And then, just kind of keep measuring as you move along the way. Okay? Again, thank you for joining me live. Make comments below, and for sure, if you can think of any topic in fitness and wellness or either or that you want me to cover in the next few days as part of my 30-day challenge that I'm doing for the Online Fitness Summit. I'm on Fitness Professional. Please share with me down below, and I will jump on the camera and talk about it and answer all your questions or cover anything that we haven't covered so far. All right, have a fantastic Sunday night, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next topic. We'll see whoever writes, whatever they write down. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye. Finish.